Good morning, everybody. Alright, I got another set of agate nodules from eastern Arizona. We're going to cut today and see what's on the inside. And again, we've got mostly small nodules, one big nodule. So let's walk through them real quick and see what we're cutting. So this first one's got a window, showing some banded pattern. And on the back side, banded pattern with a druzy quartz pocket. So we'll cut that one in between those two halves and see what we get. And this one looks like it might have some purple in it, but it also looks like this looks like a calcite crystal formation on the one end. So I don't know how deep that goes into this stone. Now the thicker part of the stone's back here, so I'll try to cut it back here, and if it's got some good purple banding, I can always drop it in muriatic acid and make a geode out of it. So we'll give that one a cut, see what's on the inside. Tiny little intact for the most part nodule, with a little bit of a window showing some banding. Another one here showing a little bit of banding. We'll cut it through the thicker part back here. This one's showing a little bit of banding as well. Maybe a little bit of quartz. We'll probably cut that one through here. I'm not 100% positive this one will be agate. This might be a calcite with a little bit of agate around the outside. We'll find out. And what we got over here? This one looks like an agate. And it might have some color in this one. It's a little one, but it might have some good color. Last but not least on the little ones. Again, it looked like it had a little bit of purple color in it, but this one might be a calcite crystal. Can't tell for sure. But we'll find out. We'll cut in half. Let's see. And then we'll do this big one. This one I really hope is an agate all the way through. And I hope it's got some purple color in it. Looks like it might have some pink at least, if not purple. Look right there. So this is the one I have the most hope for right here. All right, so let's go get these on the saw. We'll get them cut and we'll see what's on the inside. Be right back. All right, welcome back. So got this cut, and unfortunately the whole thing was that kind of a black calcite. Just a little bit of agate on the top edge there. Not much I can do with that. Well, it almost looks like it was doing some kind of a sagenitic thing on the edge. But it's all pitted, so I don't even think it'll take a polish, so I'm gonna call that one a no-go. All right, let's walk through the rest of them. First little one. It's got some banded agate around the quartz center, then a little bit of a floater in the middle of that. All right, little guy was okay. Next little one. And this one ended up having a little bit of a black calcite crystal in a quartz pocket inside of some light banding on the outside edge. So a little better, not bad. has that black calcite in it, but still pretty neat. Next up, so this little one, gonna cut it like an ice cream cone. Let's see how it came out. Ooh, all right, we got a nice little geode pocket with some banded agate on the outside edge. It also looks like it's got some moss or something. And then you got a quartz crystal geode center. It's got a little bit of gunk in it, but I can clean that out. Not bad, a little geode pair. Okay, next up, again, cut the thick part, cut the end off. Ooh, all right, well this one looks a little more promising. Nice banded pattern, both sides. I don't see any fractures. A little bit of a quartz pocket, tiny in the middle, a little tiny geode pocket. But yeah, that might look nice polished. This pair, it's pretty cool. Okay. Next up, this tip ended up popping off, but look at that pattern. That's paint from the saw blade right there, but other than that tip coming off, this one came out really nice for a little stone. Great pattern. Nice little example of a white Eastern Arizona banded agate. Especially this side. Very cool. Okay. So this next smaller one had the opening on both sides, cut kind of down the middle. Closer to this side, I like that full pattern. A little better than that open pocket. Hoping to get some of that. Ooh. That's odd. So, very cool pattern. Interesting how that calcite crystal came in there. I guess now that you look at the side of it, you can see it probably goes about that deep. I wonder if that fracture somehow allowed that in. And that other black line right there is paint from the saw blade. Could drop that in some muriatic and dissolve that black center out. I don't know if it's worth it though. A little fracture up here as well. It's that guy. If that fracture didn't exist, I might consider making another cut closer to this end. I think we're just going to leave this one as a good example of what they can look like with little black inclusions. Okay, next up, I'm gonna actually do this big one before that little one. That little one's really cool, that's my favorite. This one's pretty good too though. So I wanted to cut it in the middle of that top bump on the stone, so I did. Now I kind of wish I would have went a little further over this direction and cut it a little more evenly. I'll show you why. All right, so let's start with the big half. If you look in there, it's got a nice druzy pocket and then this thin section with the little orbs in it. If I would have cut it a little further back, I think the orbs would have been mostly over here with maybe a little bit of a pocket. And then this pocket would have been opened up and you could see that druzy pocket a little better. Now this black stuff on the bottom, again, is a calcite inclusion. I could dissolve it out. If I do, I'm not sure how well the stone will hold up on the inside. Maybe I'll do this side. This side, I'm not sure I want to. It's pretty thin on the bottom. Although at this point, I don't know if I have anything to lose. I kind of, if I do this though, I think those little dots in the middle of those orbs are probably going to go away. They'll dissolve out as holes. But I love the purple color and the banding in this one. So I will hold this one for a bit before I decide whether or not I want to dissolve that calcite out. If it wasn't separating from the agate on the bottom, I would definitely leave it. But I don't know, I'll have to consider what I'll do with it. We'll see. But anyways, that is a beautiful stone. All right. Last but not least, this little guy here. So this one turned out really cool. So the ones that have that kind of an orangish husk, boom, tend to be purple, I think. But look at that, it is little, but that came out really nice. It has a healed fracture on that right side, you can kind of see it, but it's healed. But I love the color in that one. You can see on the left side that healed fracture as well. Doesn't take away too much. I am definitely going to polish this one up at some point. But yeah, all right. Again, that was the last stone in this set, so I'm gonna say goodbye and we'll see you on the next video. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.